The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink TV, its sponsors, or partners.
Welcome to Into the Studio. I know nothing about Paverpol. In fact, I hadn't even heard about it until just recently. But here to unlock the mysteries of Paverpol is Kari Anne Piche, who's going to tell me all about this wonderful art form that is brand new to me. What is Paverpol?
Well, Paverpol is a liquid glue and a fabric hardener. It was discovered in the Netherlands by a group of artists. They made a float and it rained on their float and it wrecked everything. So they came up with this liquid glue stuff that is water resistant, frost, and sun. So all the elements, so it can stay outside year round.
Yeah. So liquid glue, fabric, a little bit of a lot of imagination and skill. And could I end up doing that?
Absolutely, you can.
But I could, not today, not in one class, but I guess you'll take us through the entire process of how I can end up doing this. And you said to me a few minutes ago, this is actually a beginner piece, that someone like me can end up doing that. How is that a beginner piece? That looks pretty complicated to me.
Well, I'm going to take you through it step by step the whole way, and you'll see. It's pretty amazing.
So here's what we're after today. And here are our tools, and I'll just set this aside. And you named her, by the way. You told me her name is?
Rebecca.
She is a Rebecca. All right, aside she goes, Rebecca. And we're going to look at what are the utensils, what do we use in Paverpol?
So we have a little hammer, we have aluminum foil, tape, scissors, ruler, skewer, a popsicle stick, and
you know what? So far, it's things that you could gather up on your own. It's not that you have to go and purchase a ton of things, that you could actually do this on your own.
Yeah.
All right, because I think I have most of these things at home.
Yeah, you got it. It's the art of recycling, really.
Oh.
I recycle fabric, all kinds of different fabrics, yarn.
Is there one kind of fabric that you like better than others?
For beginners, cotton t-shirt is the easiest to learn with.
Okay.
But I love all kinds of fabrics. It's so fun to play with fabric.
Now,
and who would have known?
And we all have cotton t-shirts at home.
Yep.
Can I use them with logos? Does it have to be a pristine, an old one with logos? Is that good enough?
An old one, rips, stains, as long as it doesn't have any plastic in it, it will work. So Paverpol won't stick to plastic. Paverpol likes natural things, so anything natural. So if you have a logo on it, you can just cut the logo out, and you can use the rest of the t-shirt.
All right. I didn't know that the logos have plastic in them. Get rid of the logo, use the t-shirt, and we're ready to go. And this also, now, I know it's not a coat hanger, but could a coat hanger work with something like this?
So we use 14 gauge copper wire. And I get them ready ahead of time before the workshop. So when you come to one of my workshops, you'll be coming to something like this.
So I wouldn't in the workshop have to twist all of this by myself?
No, I get that ready ahead.
But if I wanted to do it at home, I could experiment and start twisting and
You could. I do sell kits. So if you decided that you liked doing this and you wanted to continue this hobby at home, I have a step-by-step instructional DVD. So I'll show you how to make.
That's what I like, step-by-step instructions. But you, how would we get hold of you? I see you've got Little Art Garage, and I have Little Art Garage written here. Is that what we Google?
Yep, www.littleartgarage.com. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, so I don't have to twist. I can get a kit. All right, I am happy already. The less I have to do, the better. So you've twisted this copper wiring, and we're ready to go, are we?
Yeah, we're ready.
What do we do first?
So the first thing you're going to do is straighten it out.
These look like, well, they are the legs,
spaghetti.
Right? Straightening the legs, straightening the arms.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're going to rip. Now this is not an exact art. You can make mistakes. You can have
My
crooked
favorite
lines.
kind. My favorite
and
kind.
It's okay. So that's what I like so much about this.
And this is just regular foil wrap from
the dollar store. So see how this is a little crooked? That's okay. So we're gonna rip about 8 1.5 inches.
Does it rip with this? Can you do it faster or not?
You
Like
could.
that? I have the feeling I'm not even going to be able to rip it straight.
So there, I'll let you rip a few.
I'm going to try this. I don't have no idea
Sure.
if it'll work. Look at that. Isn't that slick? And 1.5 inches, you said, roughly?
I just like how it's crooked and then you end up making something so beautiful after with them, right?
Okay. Well,
just
see,
have to let it
even though
go.
I'm using the ruler, I'm getting crooked already.
Yeah.
So I have 3 done. Is that enough to start with right now? You said to do 8?
8, yeah.
All right. Do you have 8 done? No.
I don't.
Now I'm going to do it her way, which is take a chance and just rip it. Oh yeah, that works really well too. Absolutely. See, I'm getting bold and daring.
So
All right, just about done.
what we're doing is we're starting to make it look like a shape. We're starting to fill it up with the tin foil. And because tin foil is so malleable and flexible, it's really fun to sculpt with. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this in half.
With the shiny side inside.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just using this to
And
thicken it
just
up
in
so
half,
it doesn't look
not,
like
not
spaghetti.
again? Just in half?
Just
or,
in half, yes. And so usually I'm used to demoing when I have a workshop, like I show everybody and then you do it, but maybe we'll do it together. I don't know, we'll figure this out and see how it goes. Okay, so we start over the shoulder and we're gonna pinch it on just to kind of get a grip, like glued on in a sense, so it stays there. And we're gonna fill up the torso to start off. So from the shoulder to the waist. And you're gonna fold this tin foil and you're gonna kind of just put it wherever it wants to go. And we're just going to cover it to start off.
Okay, over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder, yeah.
Down through the body.
Just wrap it around.
and start wrapping with my
wherever it
fingers
wants
and
to go.
scrunchy like that, just scrunchy wrapping.
Not in the middle, not in the
Not in the
center, just
middle.
around the whole thing.
I did. So you went actually around and pulled it through.
Around.
Did you pull it through
No, I didn't go in the middle, I just went around.
like that?
Yep, yep.
All right.
You got it.
oh, I have it. So we are going to continue wrapping while we go for break, and don't go away. We'll be right back. And we're back, and today I'm with Kari Anne Piche, and we are doing Paverpol at the Parkside in downtown Sudbury, where your studio is. And we've been busy while you were on break. Now, if you were with us in part 1 of the show, you will see that we had started to wrap in foil, just regular foil out of your cupboard, and I have been just wrapping like a maniac to get this done really quickly, but we are ready to go on. What do we do next?
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is you're going to start to think about how you want your sculpture to sit permanently. So
we're sitting on a rock, all right.
Yes. The beginner piece is a sitting piece, right? So sitting can also count as like laying on your stomach, laying on your side, just as long as it's not standing up like this. So once we figure out where you'd like yours to sit, then we're going to make the glute.
This seems pretty safe.
Yeah.
Do the legs hang out like that? Or am I supposed to do something with the
No,
legs?
you can have cross-legged, you can bend the knees, you could, I like to encourage creativity. So you can, whatever you dream of, you can do that. And I will help you get there. And when we're getting it into a sitting position, it's easier when you think about how it sits naturally. So if you want to find your elbows and your knees, so if we bend her, our fingers go just past our shoulders naturally, right? So that's how you're going to bend it, and then you'll find your elbow. So then when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, this looks natural, and it helps you get it into that sitting position.
I don't know if I've chosen a good sitting position. Should I just do knees bent regularly and feet down? What would you suggest as a beginner? She looks a bit yoga-y.
Yeah. Well, you can bend the knees to find the bum, and then, so our feet bend naturally.
Bend the
Like
knees and bend
first,
the feet.
first we'll find the knee. That will help a little bit.
Well, that to me is where the knee is, or is that, what do you think? Where's your
So if
knee?
you bend to the bum, like
Oh,
that,
bend to
that's
the
how
bum.
you find your knee. Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Bend
it looks
to the
more
bum.
natural.
I wish I could do that. Isn't that fabulous? The flexibility. All right, then, now that I've bent to the knee, now I straighten it out, and I've got
There
the
you
knee
go.
in the right spot.
And I think mine's gonna sit like this.
Mine needs some surgery.
I'm gonna cross my legs and I'm gonna read a book. That's what mine's gonna
Look
do.
at mine is just really needing an orthopedic surgeon here somehow. Little feet. Little feet. Maybe I need
Do
you
you need
to.
some help?
I think, well, you just look at this.
Okay.
It doesn't look great to me, but you might.
So
it is
from
a
your
beginner
hip
piece. Mhm.
to your knee, that bone is gonna be straight. That looks
Yeah.
painful.
It is.
So
I-
let's
that's why I
straighten
think
it out
the
a little.
surgeon needs to step in. Dr. Robinson, where are you?
Okay, so straight it is.
It's funny how, we have our human body, yet we don't even think about these perceptions until we start doing art, and you have to have the artist's eye to look at the relationship of body parts. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, whenever I'm thinking about getting my sculpture into a
Mhm.
sitting position, I sit like that.
Oh,
I'll
and
get
you
into
have
that
a look.
position and I'll say, okay, where's my leg, where's my arm,
Ah.
and then I get up and then I
So
move
I
it.
should have
That's
been
very helpful.
You're right. I should have been sitting down for a minute to look at this. Well, it looks pretty good now, I think.
Mm-hmm. There you go, and then you can have legs crossed.
Ah, yes. Lovely.
Okay, so we need to actually make a bum.
Yes, this is not going to sit well without a bum.
So like I was saying before, it's not an exact art, right? So
Mhm.
everyone has different shapes of different body parts. So you're gonna take about this much, and I'm gonna make a bow, okay? And the bow, we're gonna take these arms, get them out of the way. The bow is going to go in the front, and the glutes are pretty simple. You just wrap one side, and then the other, and we're gonna use the hammer and we're gonna sculpt it. And just, yeah, that's
Right
perfect.
now.
That's all we
Perfect.
needed.
Okay, make a bow.
Yeah,
Make a bow. Then
the bow goes to the front.
the bow goes to the front. And we're going to make a bum. And now, you just made a whole ball at the back? Oh, yeah,
So
got to get
sit
the
it
arms
down.
out of the way.
Yeah, arms out of the way.
Sit it down. And just bunch it?
So you're gonna bring one side together, kind of like one cheek and then the other.
Cheek to cheek.
So you're gonna need to bring
It's
one
my
side.
first bum. You have to remember that. It's my first bum.
So bring one side in
Okay.
and then the other side.
All right. And then scrunch it, make a little crease. A bum crease.
Yeah, the silhouette. And the great thing about this is
I'm doing a plumber's butt.
it's
I can tell.
it's a beginner piece, so you don't have to worry so much about it being perfect because you're going to drape a dress around it, right? And it's
How's
not going
that
to
look?
show those flaws, so you don't have to worry.
Look at that butt. What
It's
do you
nice.
think? Thumbs up on the butt. All right.
So you can use your hammer and you can bring it in so it's nice and tight. The goal is this is going to stay here permanently, right? So when I take my hands off of it, I want it to stay there.
Okay.
And glue is going to be Paverpol is going to be my glue.
Why am I hammering? Just so I know, just to compress this?
Yes, you want it to be nice and tight, and you also want to make sort of like a couch groove. So whatever surface that you're trying to hammer it on, it stays there when you take your hands off.
My butt's coming apart at the back.
So squeeze it together.
Did you say it was a tight butt?
It's going to be when you're done.
It's going to be. Oh, this is exhausting, this butt part. And mine's coming apart. I just am, you know, I really think I'm going to need a little butt help here.
Sure.
So probably it's a good time to go to break so you won't see how much she has to help me. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Today we're doing Paverpol, and we have been busy while we were on break here at Parkside with Kari Anne. When we left, I was formulating a butt so that my little piece of art could sit on a rock. The butt is perfect, and while we were on break, we have been cutting up my husband's old t-shirts beautifully in strips. We have our Paverpol ready to go. We have water. So what's next?
So we're going to take our ear-to-ear piece, and you're going to open up your Paverpol.
Ear-to-ear piece, open up my Paverpol without spilling it all over the table.
We're going to take our popsicle stick, and you're going to give it a stir. So Paverpol has sort of this white stuff on the top when it sits for a little while, and I like to say it's kind of like natural peanut butter, you know, the clear layer when it sits there. It's completely normal. You just give it a stir.
It feels exactly like stirring paint. It feels like the same consistency as paint. All right, I think we are stirred. Anywhere you want me to put that, just throw it down.
Yep, just put it to the side.
And now we're ready with this.
Probably want this beside you because you're going to get your hands in Paverpol for the first time. How exciting. So we want to work with the curl on our fabric. So if you give it a pull, you can see the curl. Now the curl is going to be facing me. I want to be in control of the curl, and you'll see why later on. So I'm going to dip my scissors out of the way. So I'm going to dip the fabric into the Paverpol, and I'm going to spread it around, kind of like you're getting the stain out of clothes. I'm going to saturate it. We don't want this to be too soaking wet because then it gets really slippery and hard to work with. So you want to kind of have like a little happy medium in there.
So you keep dipping, and
so I'm going to dip, and I'm going to tell you the next step. So we have this curl, right?
I see the curl.
So I'm going to push my thumbs, and I'm going to get underneath that curl so I make sure everything is completely saturated. Then I'm going to roll away from me.
All right, straighten the curl and roll away. And roll this way. Boy,
Yeah.
this is really slippery.
It is. So like I was saying before, you don't want to be too wet. So
I think I have it
can
too
just
wet,
help
actually.
for a second? If it's too wet, you could fold this in half, okay, and you can spread it all down there.
So I do
And it
feel like
goes
I have
quite
it too
far.
wet.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to push with your thumbs
Push
to
out
get-
with my thumb.
to go under the curl and roll away.
Is that right?
Yeah, you got it. You're rolling away. Keep rolling, rolling.
Rolling down the river.
Yeah. So I like to call this part the skin. We're going to be putting these strips over the whole sculpture. And then it's going to take 2 weeks to dry and to cure before you can keep it outside. So when you take it home, you're going to put it somewhere in your house, and you're going to just leave it there and let it
Fully dry.
dry for 2 weeks. So we're going to take the two corners, curls facing you, and I want to cover, like I said, this is the skin part. So all of this has to be covered. I can't have any tin foil showing because if water or rain gets in there, then it molds, then it's no more good. So I'm going to start by going.
I think this is the curl facing me.
Yeah,
There's
and
no
you
more
can
curl though.
Always give it a pull.
Is that the curl? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
and then it starts
We
curling.
do. We have the curl. So now I take her off the rock, turn her around, put it down to her neck.
So the two corners here are going to wrap around her neck.
And just let this fall.
And you're going to let that go. Yeah.
And we're starting to wrap her.
So see right here, I have the two corners that I put behind her neck. So that's what you're going to do. Now
Corners
sometimes,
behind the neck.
if we go too far down, see, if you're trying to cover the shoulders, you're going to get a lot of wrinkles in there. Okay, so we're just covering the neck, so we don't need that much fabric down
Look
there.
who
She
it is,
pulled
Yoda.
it way down.
Yoda. Sorry.
The next part you're going to do is we're going to smooth the sides here. We're going to push this back. The ear, like you said.
Push it back.
Yeah. And we're going to make a little dart on the top of her head where the hairline would be, because you're going to cover this up with hair or a hat and you won't be able to see any of that.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so we got this little dart, and
Got
we have
the
this
dart.
fancy tool that you can use if you'd like, the skewer, and you can feel like a true artist and poke and move the fabric around
Well,
and
that
sculpt
works.
as you like.
That works.
Okay, so when we have this dart, we're going to go all the way around.
I feel like I want to make a ponytail. Look at how cute that is.
Yep, there's a few options when we get there, okay?
All right, we are going to continue wrapping. We are going to finish the body, and we will be right back. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, we are doing Paverpol today with Kari Anne Piche, and we are at the Parkside Center in downtown Sudbury. We have been wrapping, we have been doing all kinds of things, and while you were on break, we were very, very busy, and we have completed, I don't know what to call this, stage 10, I have no idea, but we are ready to do what next?
So we just finished putting the skin on, and that's sealing it for outside, and now you're gonna make your dress. You're gonna accessorize and play and have fun with it.
So where do I start?
This is where you let your own creativity come out, and you kind of just let it go. So you can, I can guide
What
you
would
and
you
give you
normally
a couple
do?
of ideas. But see if you go like this, that kind of looks nice. Or you can have a strapless dress. You can go all the way around her body. You can twist it.
Oh, I
There's
see.
so
Keep
many
going,
things
that's
you
good.
can do. You can do like this, go all the way around.
So you just take piece after piece after piece. Oh, that arm doesn't, now it doesn't move as well as it did before. And I can
Yeah, because
cross
it's
her
drying.
this way, cross your heart,
That looks nice.
and then I can add a second piece here. This becomes very, very stretchy and very, I guess I have to make it though so that you can look at the back as well. A piece of art is not just looked at from the front.
Yeah, three-dimensional.
So I need
all
to
angles.
start this piece maybe under her armpit, not sure. Come back over the shoulder. Oh my gosh. The next thing I would be doing would be probably putting her hair on, or what would I be doing
her
next?
hair, absolutely.
So I'm wondering, now that I have the idea of how I would be draping the dress, I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind showing me how I give her hair.
Sure, just have one last piece for the front.
One
so
last
she doesn't
piece so she
look
doesn't.
naked.
No, we.
So we have some yarn here, and all we do is you'll decide how long you want her hair. So you'll cut it however long you want, and then you just dip it in and put it on, and
Well,
Paverpol's like the glue,
Could
so
you
it's
cut a
really
few
that
pieces
easy.
so that her hair is about this long, a little bit
Sure.
longer? And then I will continue with the modesty part of the dress. So now what am I doing? You've dipped those. Do I just stick them on her head?
Yeah,
They'll just stick right there?
yep. Paverpol's like the glue, so.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. She's going to have long, beautiful tresses.
And it's neat how in a workshop, everybody leaves with a completely different piece. Not anyone's alike.
And I was also noticing, while you're doing that, I was noticing something over here that is this one of the final steps where I choose an accenting once it dries? Do I accent with the color?
Yes.
What do I do?
So those are called highlights. And
Highlights.
yeah, you would, it's kind of like a sun-kissed look. So it would just go on all of the crinkles on her dress, and it would just sort of make it pop.
I'm liking this hair. Well, that kind of gives us the idea of pulling the dress around, of doing the hair. And then after this, I know I'm doing it very quickly, but after this, would this be then the drying process?
So we would put the highlights on. No face. That's how they look. It's kind of the idea of a face, because it's art after all, right?
I just
So you
remembered
don't
us
need
sticking a
all of
pin
those
in for the
features.
nose
Yeah.
a while ago.
And so it just has that nose, and that's it. By tomorrow, it would get really stiff, where you couldn't move it anymore. But right now, you have a lot of time.
You know, it's coming along pretty well, I think.
I think it's beautiful.
I can't believe that you can take a complete beginner like me who's never done any of this and take me through this so easily. How do I take a course? What do I do if I want to spend the whole day doing this? How do I take a course?
So you can visit my website, littleartgarage.com, check out workshop calendar, and I have all of my workshops posted there. They're always on the weekends, and it's color coded, so it's green if you want to come for a workshop, purple if I'm at an art show.
All color coded, everything's there
Yeah, really
at
easy.
littleartgarage.com. littleartgarage.com. Learn even more about Paverpol. This has been so much fun. I think I might shake your hand, or I might give you a sticky high five. Thank you so much for inviting us into your studio. It's been absolutely terrific. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
For Into the Studio, I'm Judi Strawn.